I knew before it even left my hand. Why? Because every shot I take is the most important one of my life.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
Share this life like we ought to.
On April 1st, St. Joseph-Ogden defeated Teutopolis 1-0. Tonight, on June 3rd, they meet for the Class 2A state championship. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Dozer Park in downtown Peoria. I'm Dave Bernhardt, joined by Hall of Fame coach Mark Lindo. Those two teams meeting over 2 months ago. Tonight, they meet for that state title, a state title that Teutopolis has claimed twice in their history. And for St. Joe Ogden, they are meeting in this championship ball game for the second consecutive year, last year finishing second on a walk-off hit in the late innings. And, Mark, you take a look at these two clubs. You try to differentiate and split between them. I can't.
Well, two excellent teams, two teams that have excellent coaches and programs. Not just teams, but programs. That's why you see some very familiar people in both dugouts. So we got a good one here tonight to finish off a fine weekend.
Starting batting order for Justin Fleener's Teutopolis Wooden Shoes, Carson Hartke, Jason Kenter, and Cody Jensen at the top of the order in the middle. It's Eric Kramer, Lane Belleville, and Brant Beeker. And the 7-8-9 hitters, Brock Beeker, Lee Hardick, and Dylan Blummer. Defensively for SJO, the home team in this one, Jesse Schluter in left, Tyler Slaggy in center. It's Tyler Langendorf in right. The infield, Colton Hale at third, Austin Kane at short, Drew Corsi's the second baseman. First baseman Marty Wright. Behind the plate is Brant Hovland, and the lefty moves from center field to the mound tonight for the championship game. That's Mason Kuhn.
Mason Kuhn's a good-looking 6'1", 175-pound senior left-hander. He has some sparkling numbers that he'll take to the bump, trying to get a state championship team for his Spartans tonight. He's 8-1, 53 1/3 innings pitched, 1.58 earned run average on the season. He struck out 96 and walked 32 on the year. So Mason Kuhn and Brent Hovland, the batter, is going to try to get it done tonight as we get ready for the first pitch of the 2017 2A state championship game. We'll turn over to my partner, the Hall of Fame voice, play-by-play man of the IHSA, Dave Bernhardt.
Thank you very much, Mark. It will be Carson Hartke stepping in to get things started against Mason Kuhn. Teutopolis got here by virtue of an 11-0 5-inning win over Oregon in the semifinals. St. Joe Ogden had to go extra innings before defeating Chicago Christian 5-2, and Hartke puts a charge into this first pitch. He'll one-hop the wall. Hartke, a stand-up double, and that's how we start the 2A title game.
Boy, he put a charge in that ball, signals to his bench. They're on their feet hanging over the dugout. Two juiced-up teams right now. It would be T-Town the most juiced up because they have something cooking in the very first inning. First ball hunting, and he drilled it over the left fielder's head.
Carson Hartke with his team-leading 13th double of the year sets the table for Jason Kenter. Kenter, 3 hits and 4 bats last night, scored a couple of runs, and he goes up there swinging.
Game plan quite clearly, be aggressive early. An outstanding hitting team is T-Town. They can put numbers on the board in a hurry.
Winners of 19 games in a row. Kenter didn't like the time that Kuhn was taking. Last loss suffered by Teutopolis, that was on April 21st. They have run the table since then. And another rip. Jason Kenter up there swinging.
Kenter on that particular pitch tried to be totally team-oriented, unselfish. You could see him try to hit behind the rudder, go to the right side. Now with 2 strikes, he's got to change his approach and just get bat on ball.
Didn't quite bend into the strike zone. Teutopolis, 7 of the last 8 years, 30 wins or more. They are 30-6 coming into this ball game. St. Joe-Ogden 27-7. And since 2010, 2 state titles, a couple of third-place finishes. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Kenner. Cody Jansen waits on deck.
You mentioned a big game from him yesterday. Good number 2 hole hitter. Great handler of the bat. Without the sparkling averages, he knows what his role is under this team, and that's to move runner like Hartke along.
Skips over the glove of the third baseman, Colton Hale. Now the race to the bag at third. Hartke will win it. First and third as we start this game. Nobody out. The single from Kender off the glove of Hale. It took Hartke a while to decide to get there, but he did to third.
That ball was hit hard to the backhand side. Would have been a superlative play had Hale made it. Wasn't able to, knocked it down. First and third, early action and pressure on the defense here by Teutopolis table setters.
Catcher Cody Jansen at the plate. Snap, pickoff throw to first base.
2 great catchers in this game. Hovland for SJO and Jansen, both offensively and defensively for the Wooden Shoes.
Hard to shortstop. Hartke holding at third. The double play turned in the middle, and then Hartke breaks. As soon as he saw the shortstop, Kane, go to Corsi, he takes off, and it's a 1-0 Teutopolis lead on the double play ground ball by Cody Jansen.
Cody Jansen hit that ball right on the button. It stayed down for Austin Kane. Good turn by Corsi, 6-4-3. They put a run on the board as Teutopolis, but good job by SJO emptying the bases here. And at this point, stopping any further first inning damage.
That clears the bases for Eric Kramer. Kramer to Hopper to Kane. And it slips through the glove of Marty Wright over at first base. That will be an error on Wright, and the inning will continue.
So that was a little bit of lack of focus by SJO. Usually a very disciplined team as far as focus. A little bit of short hop by Austin Kane, but you're right. It goes E3. That's a ball that was in the air. Marty Wright just didn't finish the play at first base.
Wright didn't get out there. He was pretty much feeling that one right at his feet. And it will be Blake Kitten that will be the courtesy runner at first base for the pitcher, Eric Kramer. A man who had the big day yesterday. That's Lane Belleville. 4 for 4 day, including a double, a home run. He drove in 4, scored 3 times. He goes after that first pitch.
Great presence in the batter's box. Nice size young man. Knows how to handle a bat. Will hit the ball to all fields. 6'3", 220 prototype physique for a baseball player. Runs pretty well. 5-tool player.
It's the 5th home run of the year that Belleville smacked last night. And it's 11th double.
Very small leadoff at first base in respect to Mason Kuhn's pickoff abilities.
Belleville will find the hole into left field. The 3rd hit of the inning, the first 5 hitters in this Teutopolis lineup. Runners at first and second.
Belleville drilled that through the 5-6 hole. He's 5 out of 5 in 2 days. Have a tournament, Lane Belleville, but they keep the inning alive. Can they capitalize on the 2-out error? They turn it back over to Brant Beaker.
Brant Beaker 0 for 1 last night. Did score a run. He's the right fielder for the Wooden Shoes. Kuhn bends that breaking ball very nicely.
Good change of speeds. Hitting's all about timing. Pitching, disrupt that timing by changing speeds.
Beaker with a strong cut. No swings there have been for the meek here in the top of the first inning.
Jesse Schluter playing very deep versus the lefty in left field. Now their bench is moving him in. Saw what we did up here.
Couple of looks to second. Now Kuhn delivers.
Best approach for any left-handed hitter to keep the front shoulder in is to visualize hitting the ball over the shortstop's head. If you can try to do that, that'll keep your front side in, which is imperative to a good hitter.
And that's a called strike and a big bending curve from Mason Kuhn. Teutopolis came out swinging, first pitch swinging. Carson Hartke a double. He scores on a double play grounder. Teutopolis jumps on top after 1/2 inning play, 1-0. Now we'll bring SJO to the plate. This is their batting order. Mason Kuhn will run from the mound. He'll run to the on-deck circle and then into the batter's box. He'll lead it off for the Spartans. He'll be followed by Austin Kane, then Colton Hale. Brant Hovland hits in that cleanup spot. First baseman Marty Wright is over at first. Eli Place, once again, the designated hitter. He is batting for the right fielder tonight, Tyler Langendorf. Final 3 in the order, Jesse Schluter, Drew Corsi, and Tyler Slagley. Defensively for T-Town, Dylan Blummer is in left. Brock Beaker in center. Brant Beaker, his twin brother, in right field. Lee Hardick mans third base. Carson Hartke will run out to shortstop. Jason Kenner is at second. Lane Belleville is at first base. Cody Chance behind the plate. And the starter in this 2A championship game will be Eric Kramer.
And we're treated to another good one. Again, a great pitcher's body, 6'5", 180, junior, number 21. See him on your screen there, Eric Kramer. He comes in, can't get better than 7-0. 41 innings pitched. He's punched out 21 and punched out 61, walked just 21 with a sparkling 1.37 earned run average. And Kramer is the one that T-Town has chosen to lead them to a championship with the bump tonight.
Well, we've played 1/2 inning of play. I have a feeling some of these keys we're going to see may have already come to fruition.
Well, for Teutopolis, it was Hartke on. He did that. He scored his 41st run of the season, leading that inning off with a double. And Belleville in. Now, Belleville didn't drive in a run, but yesterday 4 out of 4 RBIs, and then a base hit here today. For SJO, the middlemen. Hovland, I love him catching. Austin Kane, a superlative shortstop, and Corsi, the combination. Tyler Slaggy up the middle. They have to be fine. And then masterful Mason. Mason Kuhn, he gave up around the first inning, but he has to develop and show his entire repertoire of pitches to keep that potent offense under control tonight.
Unthreatened, they got out of it to stretch it 2 extra innings. This is Austin Kane. Kane last night, a couple of hits and a run scored, a double included. Kane a .277 average on the season. A junior and a team that will start 4 seniors. Kenner delivers. Gun registers at 87 miles per hour on that fastball. Kenner working quickly. Just missed. The Teutopolis fans who have commandeered the shade behind home plate rather than getting behind the dugout in the sun thought they had a strike there. This one will drift out of play, and that will find the SJO crowd.
Eric Kramer, his last start, punched out 13 to get his team a sectional title.
Stares down at Austin Kane. A 3-2 pitch. First runner aboard for SJO comes with 1 out here in the first. Colton Hale on the dish last night, 1 for 4 with the run batted in, but the story for Hale was his pitching before he was removed because of the pitch count numbers. 6 2/3 innings, only gave up 4 hits and a run, struck out 8 against Chicago Christian, a team that came into that game with a 39-1 record. Chicago Christian winning the third place game earlier this afternoon over Orion 9-0.
Catcher Cody Jansen goes to his knees, rounds his shoulders, a good block there. Right prior to that pitch, he stood up, told his outfield move back, part of the scout report, and directing his team like a great catcher's leadership would do.
Line drive hard to right field, tough Sunfield. Brant Beaker, though, zeroes in on it, and he nearly nips Kane coming back to first base. That is a tough play for a right fielder in this park at this time of day. Cleanup hitter Brant Hovland. He had a big hit last night, a big double, drove in a run. Kenter to Kane. Kane with a little bit of a flinch over there, gets back in safely.
Good feet from the mound there out of the high set. Holding the ball right, the glove right below his chin.
Hovland goes through that high fastball. Near 400 average for the senior catcher. He was a backup last year at catcher to Eli Olteen. Hovland, though, did a lot of designated hitting. Rips this one down the line. Will it stay fair? It does not. He got all of that one, and that just missed the line.
So he timed that one up pretty well. Got a little bit too much top hand. Turned the top hand over. 0-2. Different approach now. We normally would say, what adjustment are you going to make now? He's just got to keep his front side in and try to hit this ball right back up the middle. See how high he carries his hands up by his helmet. His first movement will be down on the bat.
Another good cut at that one.
Got a good 0-2 pitch to hammer out. He wasted it. Might want to come out of the zone a bit here on 0-2 and try to elongate the plate and make it from 17 to 19 inches, 1 inch on either side.
Jansen lining up outside once again to pick off throw. And Kane gets back. He's going to that back corner of the bag, and for the right-handed first baseman, Lane Belleville, that means he has to sweep that glove across his body. You might say, well, will Kane run here? But we've seen what Cody Jansen can do behind the plate. Quick release, accurate arm. Sticks the bat out, ropes it to center field, a base hit for Hovland, and Kane will move into second with 2 outs.
What a great adjustment, a masterful piece of hitting there with his craft. He had an 0-1 pitch that he just jerked down the left field line, couldn't keep it fair, missed by about a foot, went to 0-2, made an adjustment, got off the top of the bat, off the bottom handle of the bat, and with that pitch just laced it into center field, bat on ball, could keep the line moving.
Braden Weaver, a freshman, will run at first base, the courtesy runner for Hovland. We'll bring up Marty Wright. Wright had a key run batted in last night. A double, and that was in the 8th inning.
270 average, but he's driven in 24, so you can tell he has some clutch hits throughout the season.
Right, the starting quarterback for SJO, also a member of the basketball team. Talked about last night. Insulin-dependent diabetic, wears a pump at all times to monitor his blood sugar, and inspiration to athletes. He works camps that helps youth players who are battling diabetes and balancing athletics.
Outstanding story there, that you can overcome an adversity, any kind of physical hardship, but I'm sure he just helps him compete in every challenge he'll have in his life.
3-0 now to Wright. Kramer trying to battle back, now 3-1.
Outfield deep enough, runner would score on any kind of base hit.
Now the runners will be in motion. 3-2 as Kramer looking to come all the way back.
So now you can score 2 on a long single in theory.
Wright sends this deep and well foul. Take a hop onto Adams Street. Kane will go back to second. Weaver back to first. Kramer. He comes all the way back, down 3-0 to Marty Wright, and he'll get him on that soft tapper to first. So 2 runners on. Nobody scores here in the bottom of the first. We've played one. Your 2A state championship game in Peoria. It's 1-0, Teutopolis.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
In the first inning, 4 of the first 6 hitters reached base, 3 by way of hits, 1 by way of an error. So that starts us off with the 7-8-9 part of the order for Justin Fleener's team. That's Brock Beeker, Lee Hardick, and Dylan Blummer.
Seven times Justin Fleener's brought the Wooden Shoes to the state finals.
And he has his leadoff man on base, an infield single. Inside-out swing from Brock Beeker.
Good piece of hitting again. The approach, lefty against lefty. Stay in, go opposite.
Infield pinching for the double play with Lee Hardick at the plate. His bunt attempt will fly about 12 rows back.
And we have 2 things to analyze here. One was the bunt attempt by Hardick. Saw him drop the barrel of the bat. The ball went up. On the other end, Beeker at first, a short lead, but you might want to get a one-way lead at some point and see the best move you can from Kuhn. Whole defense moving now.
Corsi, the second baseman, pinching the middle for a double play. As soon as he saw Hardick square, he started gliding over towards first base. Hardick pushes it that way. The sacrifice moves Beeker to second.
Great execution by Hardick. Made the adjustment himself. Pushed the ball right at the first baseman, Marty Wright. Great 8-hole execution. Talked about it before. Second hitter in lineups, got to do that. And the 8th hitter in a high school lineup has to take that role of moving over a runner.
Sets it up for the 9-hitter, Dylan Blummer, the left fielder for the Wooden Shoes. Fastball right there in the outside corner, 78 miles per hour from Mason Kuhn.
That one seemed like it had a little more pop than 78. I thought that was 82, 83, to be honest with you. I'm trusting my eyes, honestly, more than that gun.
Another fastball. So he has challenged Blummer in the first 2 pitches, and he's up in the count 0-2.
Yeah, I think you and I both agree. That wasn't 77 either. He's getting up there more than 77 miles an hour. He's 82, 83.
Tried to bend one over. Center fielder Tyler Slagley shaded just ever so slightly towards right center field. The left fielder Jesse Schluter is deep, and the right fielder Tyler Langendorf guarding the line. Now remember, these teams have books on each other. They played back on April 1st. That was a 1-0 game.
And of course, they charted every pitch yesterday. So once you start to get 6-7 at bats, it does make a difference. You can pick up tendencies.
Strikeout, and it's a big one at the right time for Kuhn. 2 outs to Carson Hartke.
Kuhn did a great job. He gets ahead 0-2, which is the first rule to follow. Then he went backdoor curveball missed on the outside. Then he climbed the ladder up above the hands and got the punch out.
Hartke doubled on the first pitch he saw tonight. Bounced it off that left field wall. This time he gets a curveball.
Now, in full respect to Jason Kentner, who's up next, there's a base open. And I'm not going to let Carson Hartke beat me here for an RBI. Kentner's, 245 hitter. Different role. So you can try to execute some pitches without having to give in the hard-hitting Hartke.
Couldn't backdoor him. 1 ball, 1 strike, couple of outs here.
Here the entire wooden shoe bench. Nobody meaning telling their runner, Beeker, to get a bigger lead.
Hartke fouls it away. Kuhn a pitch away from getting out of this mini jam. Leadoff single, sacrifice bunt to second. That's where Beeker's been.
Shakes off the first one. Don't know how much Hovland likes that. He probably put it down again.
Hartke didn't like the time that Kuhn was taking. My left fielder Jesse Schluter about 20 feet off of the track there in left field. That's about where Hartke landed the ball his first time up. Well, that one registered 85, so I'm not sure that we'll keep an eye on that scoreboard too much.
So we'll see what strategy they go to. Will they go ahead and center cut one, or will they try to live on the edge with a base open?
Well, it's gone to 3-2 with that first base open. Three-two pitch. Hard to right center field. Slagley drifting. It's going to fall. Hartke will drive in a run. His second double in 2 at-bats, and T-Town on top, 2-0.
He was patient, didn't get himself out on 2-2, chase upstairs, didn't get himself out on, 1-2 or 2-2. He gets the 3-2 pitch, and he laces it. Ball stayed up a long time, but there was a big gap in right center field between Langendorf and right, Slagley in center, and a 2-out, 2-strike base hit for Hartke. 2 doubles up on the board.
Kenter had an infield single his last time up. Senior second baseman looking to drive in Hartke. Kuhn is going to have to get that breaking ball over.
Yeah, unless you have an overpowering fastball, you'd like to be a 3-pitch starting pitcher, but you have to have at least 2 pitches.
Line drive center field. Hartke rounds third. That will be the 3rd run of the game. The RBI single from Jason Kenter. It's 3-0 to Teutopolis.
How about the wooden shoes in the second inning with a 2-spot and counting 2 2-out hits to score 2 runs. That is very, very efficient baseball.
Already 6 hits for the wooden shoes. Cody Jansen hit into a double play his last time up. A run scored on that play. That was the run in the first inning. He hits this one hard to left center. Giving ground to Schluter. And he makes the catch. A diving catch going away from the field on the track. Spectacular play from Jesse Schluter. He takes away extra bases. He saves a run for his team. A defensive gem to end the inning, but offensively, Teutopolis scores twice on 3 hits, back-to-back RBIs from Carson Hartke and Jason Kenner. And they'll take a 3-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second.
I knew before it even left my hand. Why? Because every shot I take is the most important one of my life.
Country Financial wants to know, do you feel in control of your financial future?
No.
Sort of.
But I have the desire to be in control of my money.
I need a plan.
At Country Financial, our goal is to work with you to lay out a step-by-step plan of insurance and financial solutions to help you regain control of your financial planning, to help you own your future.
Understanding is empowering.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today. Country Financial wants to know, what do you look for in a financial services partner?
Get to know us and get to know what we need and what we want to do.
Treat me like they would treat their family.
Help us decide what is a want and what is a need.
I want something tailor-made for me.
At Country Financial, our goal is to take the time to get to know you and then help you put together a customized package of insurance and financial solutions to help you own your future.
When someone really listens and they're planning for us, I trust them.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
You just saw one of the most spectacular plays we have ever seen in boys baseball state finals in Jesse Schluter.
Jesse Schluter laid out. That was a run of about maybe 18 to 22 yards, somewhere between there. He fully elongated his body at the track because Cody Jansen had just put a charge into that ball, which he's done all weekend long, to little to show for it.
First batter in the bottom of the second is Eli Place.
And he saved a run. And right before you described that out in that pitch, I was going to say how important it was for Mason Kuhn to keep it right there. And he was able to do so because of just a defensive gem.
Eric Kramer back onto the mound, now staked to a 3-run lead. Eli Place down the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Couple of hits last night for Place, including a double.
So Teutopolis won the first inning 1-0. Kramer's job is to help his team win this inning, especially as the visiting team. You win innings, you're going to win games.
Place to be followed by Jesse Schluter and Drew Corsi. Place hits this one high. Carrying pretty well into right center field. Who wants it? Right fielder Brent Beaker.
And still a lot of outs left on the board for SJO. And should they get back in this game, come back and win this game, you mark the 3rd out of that second inning as being one of the key plays in the entire game. But it took a big inning and negated a huge inning.
Here is Schluter, junior left fielder. This has been a tournament of twins. Jesse Schluter, the twin of his fellow Spartan, Jake Schluter. So we've had, twins, Grafton twins for Orion, the Schluter twins. On the other side for Teutopolis, you have the Beaker twins.
Then we have a couple sets of cousins. We have a nephew playing for his uncle, that being Goreville. So, family affair here in Peoria.
0-2 to Schluter. Kramer gets it back, and he's ready to go. Give me that sign in a hurry. Schluter will have to come back. That ball tracked down by Lee Hardick.
Don't think his teammates don't appreciate the pace, and don't think that the program established by Justin Fleener is not a part of that. Get it and pitch it. How quickly can we make the game flow? We'll put a clock on him next time. I bet he's under 7 seconds.
Schluter goes down swinging for the second out of the inning.
Well, I tell you what, he's extra special when he gets above the hands. He adds another 2 inches to his fastball. When he's down, people can move him, but he gets the ball up and elevates hitters' eyes. They can't catch him.
Bringing up the freshman second baseman, Drew Corsi, hitting out of the 8-hole. Spartans coached by Josh Haley in his 6th season at SJO. 179 wins, just 39 losses. Second place trophy last year. Of course, he thought he may have been hit by that. No call. Overall, 268 wins in 13 years. Haley, head coach at Hoopston Area High School for 7 years.
23, 26, 32, 33, 35, 26 wins in succession since 2012 at SGO. So can tell he's established a program of winning tradition.
It's become a program that's invested in supporting youth baseball. In fact, coming up on Monday at St. Joe Ogden, players and coaches, they'll hold a baseball camp. Very involved in the youth baseball in that area. You know, prior to Coach Haley and Coach Prummer, SJO had not won a sectional. But in those 6 seasons you just mentioned, they won second place, they won a super sectional, 4 sectionals, 5 regionals, and 5 conference championships.
And we can talk about both the teams in this light. You can just see the approach, the discipline, the execution, all of the above when you see great baseball programs led by outstanding coaches.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here to Corsi, and he's rung up. Back-to-back strikeouts. Close out a 1-2-3 inning for Eric Kramer. So as you said, Teutopolis won the first inning 1-0. They won the second inning 2-0. And they lead it as we go to the third, 3-0 in your 2A title game.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Hey, great party. Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well. This is well done. No. That's medium well. What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned. That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger. I don't really.
You wouldn't do it there.
That'd be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Dave Bernhardt and Mark Linda with you as we start the top of the third inning with Eric Kramer, the cleanup hitter and pitcher for Teutopolis, leading it off. Mark, I get this sense that this is a crucial inning that will go a long way to determining the rest of this ball game after Teutopolis has really taken it to SJO in the first 2 innings.
Absolutely. SJO, imperative that they put a 0 up on the board defensively here, that they hold Teutopolis scoreless, give their offense a chance to get to Kramer. Not only on the scoreboard, but the emotions of this game as well, because it's been Teutopolis in full control over the first 2 innings.
Sent 6 batters to the plate in each of the first 2 innings, plating 3 runs. Already 6 hits. 2-strike pitch coming up to Kramer. Chopper to Corsi. Boy, he had to handle a quick little spinning hop there. Handled it nicely.
Yes, he did. He had the glove down, and then he had to bring the glove back up on the bounce and catch it with with the fingers pointing up. He had the fingers pointing down. So good adjustment on a ball that created topspin off the bat of Kramer.
You know, you look at Corsi, he's a freshman playing second base. Austin Kane's a junior over at short. You get the feeling that in a couple of years that shortstop spot could be Corsi's.
Absolutely.
Lane Belleville singled. Keep alive a perfect weekend, 5 for 5.
You see Corsi, second baseman, on the right of your screen, playing way back on the grass. And quite honestly, that's where he should be, but a lot of young guys wouldn't trust their arm enough to do that. Those angles he has creates more opportunity to get the balls to either side of him.
Belleville lashed a single to left field. His first time up, and he lines out. He has not hit one ball soft all weekend. That's the first out that Belleville has made. It's the second out in the inning.
Get him out of there. Boy, he scalded that one as well. 5 out of 6. And you talk about a ball looking big. He is seeing it deep, keeping his head still, his nose on it, and barreling up the baseball time after time.
Brant Beaker hitting now with 2 outs. Kuhn able to stay in the windup here this inning. Something that he was not able to do in the first 2. The leadoff men reached base and scored in each of the first 2 innings.
Beaker hitting in an open stance. See that front foot toward first base. He'll pick it up and put it down.
And Kuhn, who had 2 quick outs, now goes 3-0 on Brant Beaker. Four-pitch walk with 2 outs. Beaker down to first base. His first walk by Kuhn.
So he will be out of the set position. Still have not seen Kuhn's best move to first. We talked about a possible one-way lead. But see if Beaker tries to steal a base. If he does, short lead now to be going on the lead leg. Just when he picks up, he'll take off.
He stays. Brock Beaker at the plate. That's 5 straight balls now thrown by Kuhn.
So you don't have to run until he throws 1 strike.
Softly to Corsi. And a quick inning. And there is the 0 that went up on the board. 2.5 in the books. We go to the bottom of the third. A 3-0 lead for T-Town.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Today's game is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Guaranteed best prices. This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com. This game is brought to you by Under Armour, maker of the world's best apparel, footwear, and accessories. Check out the full line of performance gear now at UA.com. Under Armour, I will.
Somewhere along that tournament trail, no matter what sport it is, you have to win a close one. Maybe one you have to come from behind. That's exactly what Teutopolis did in the Super Sectional. They trailed Nashville 3-0 after 3 batters on a 3-run homer. They kept battling, though, and ended up winning that ball game 4-3. And the significance of Nashville, it was Nashville that lost to Teutopolis in the regular season 12-2, and that win by T-Town started this 19-game winning streak.
T-Town overcame a rain delay, or maybe to their advantage in that one as well, correct?
Slagley, the ground out to first. Well, in fact, it was in that Super Sectional, and they were feeling down, trailing 3-0, and Brock Beaker said, the rain delay was perfect for us. Much like Jason Hayward in Game 7 for the Cubs, Beeker gave his team a pep talk during this rain delay, and all of a sudden everybody came together, and here they are. Top of the order, Mason Kuhn flew out to left his first time up. Kuhn hits this one high, hard, and deep to right field. Giving ground is Brent Beeker, and he had that zeroed in all the way, catching it on the track.
Well, earlier in the day, the wind was blowing from the west, and the ball was carrying to right field. Through the course of the day, it switched back, and the wind may have knocked that down. I know it didn't aid it at all. And nice job off the bat, Brent Beeker, because I thought when that ball was first hit, it was going to carry big time, and it did not.
Ground down the fly out. Now to Austin Kane. And Eric Kramer is dealing.
So from the time Cody Jansen threw it back from catcher back to Kramer, he had delivered another strike in 7.2 seconds.
Here comes another. Jansen wants it high. This one is swung down on. Nice job by Kane. Hit down on the high pitch and shoots it by the third baseman, Hardick, into left field for the base hit.
When you can have the ability to keep your hands on top of the baseball, to keep the barrel over the ball on a high pitch, that just exemplifies that you are a special type of hitter. And Kramer's got a couple strikeouts going above the hands. Not to Austin Kane. Was able to just turn that one right about.
Colton Hale, he has power at .404 average, 4 home runs. 2 outs, and the runner at first is Kane. Right before Hale came to the plate, catcher Cody Jansen was directing his right fielder, Brent Beeker. He has him pretty much in straightaway right field. There's a pretty big gap between center and right as the center fielder, Brock Beeker, shading a little bit towards left.
Good picture there of Eric Kramer. You'll see him from the set position, the glove right below the chin. What that does is give a shorter angle when you want to pick off at first base, so it helps to aid holding runners on. We'll watch him again. That was very close to a balk because you have to have a discernible stop, and he almost did not. See if he has a longer pause this time. Better.
Leaves it up high. 2-1 count now to Hale.
But the last 2 pitches, set, pitch, set, pitch. If he continues to do that and mix things up, SJO will pick up on that and send a runner, although they're trailing 3 right now.
Off the fist, shortstop Hartke will close out this inning. 2-out single by Austin.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
It'll be Lee Hardick, Dylan Blummer, and Carson Hartke here for the Wooden Shoes as we start the top of the 4th inning. This game has been moving right along. Both teams swinging the bats. 6 hits for Teutopolis. 2 hits for SJO. Hardick sacrificed a couple of runners into scoring position, and they both ended up scoring thanks to Carson Hartke's double and Jason Kenner's single. And again, the little things that win you ball games.
Little things win you championships. And his first bunt attempt in that 2nd inning, he dropped the barrel, popped it up foul, made his own adjustment, kept the barrel above the ball. The ball was on the outer part of the plate. He pushed it toward the first baseman holding. Execution, and then his team picked him up.
3 balls and a strike. The crowd for St. Joe Ogden probably thinned a little bit because their girls are playing for the 2A state softball championship just across the river at East Side Center, as St. Joe Ogden will have to come back here in baseball. They are looking to become just the 3rd school to win a baseball and softball title in the same year, but the leadoff batter reaches once again. That's the 3rd time in 4 innings, and the first 2 times it led to runs. Currently in the 3rd inning, Beecher and St. Joe Ogden are scoreless in the 2A softball championships. Dylan Blummer to plate. He's going to be asked to bunt. To Hale. Glanced at second, goes to first, the right move, and once again the sacrifice advances runners on.
Execution, fundamentals, team baseball, station to station. It's been a clinic thus far for Teutopolis. Get them on, get them over, get them in.
And that will bring Hartke to the plate for the third time here in 4 innings. First 2 times, he has doubled. First base is open. Hartke last night had 4 plate appearances in 4 innings. He now has 3 more here in 4 innings. So in the 8 innings that Teutopolis had played through Hartke's at-bats, he's been at home plate 7 times. You talk about Belleville seeing the ball, that is what Hartke's doing as well.
Strong lower body on a young man. Again, prototype shortstop. We've seen about 4 or 5 really good ones here this weekend.
He's going to get another hit. This one to right field. Hardick waved around third. Carson Hartke 3 for 3. Couple of RBIs and T-Town on top 4-0.
Well, that was picture book, textbook hitting by Hartke. That was a breaking ball coming from left into him. It stayed up over the plate, and he went ahead, kept his hands back, let the ball get deep, kept his head back, and laced that hard to right field for the RBI. Have a night.
Jason Kenter, he's 2 for 2. So the top 2 hitters in the order, the batting order for Teutopolis right now a combined 5 for 5.
And Hardick and Blummer each have a sacrifice bunt, which set the table for Hartke. That's what team baseball is.
Last 3 runs that T-Town has scored in this game have come with 2 outs. In the second, 2-out hits from Hartke and Kenner. And here, Hartke again, a 2-out hit. Ball at the feet of Hovland. Hartke saw it, and he took off immediately.
Superb baseball player exemplifying superb running right there. Read the flight of the ball. Flash look. That means find the ball. Get a quick look. Make a decision. And when you're ahead 4-0, you can play aggressively.
Kenner, the rope. Hartke will score. Kenter to second. He has a 2-out double and an RBI. 5-0 Teutopolis.
Kenter comes in 245, but he's going to leave a lot higher than that as he has had an outstanding game already tonight. After having 3 hits last night, Kenter 6 for 7 in the tournament.
Mason Kuhn has allowed 8 hits, 5 runs. This inning started with a walk. And I lost track there. We only have 1 out here. It seemed as if there was another one in there. So I can't say that the last 3 or 4 runs have been scored with 2 outs. This inning is rolling along.
So Hartke 4 hits in the tournament. Belleville 5 out of 6. Kentner comes in 245. He had 3 hits yesterday, 3 today. He's 6 out of 7. So you know hitting is contagious. The wooden shoes are clicking right now.
For Mason Kuhn, he came in with a 1.58 earned run average. Giving up 30 hits in 53 innings. He's given up 8 hits in 3 1/3 here. Now, the last time these teams played, that was back on April 1st. Teutopolis still finding themselves at that time. It was a 1-0 win for SJO. As we said, middle of April, Wooden Shoes discovered their identity, and they have rolled. Here's Cody Jansen. Jansen has hit the ball hard twice. He hit the ball hard last night didn't have a lot to show for it. He was victimized by a spectacular diving catch by left fielder Jesse Schluter, angling away from the field right on the edge of the warning track.
He's 0 for 4 the 2 nights and has squared the ball up all 4 outs. Sophomore Adam Rose warming up in the SJO bullpen. Josh Haley, when he was out there trying to bide some time to get his right-handed sophomore some tosses.
Once again on the nose, this to Corsi. He'll scoop it up. The runner will advance to third. Kenter moves on to third, 90 feet away. To the cleanup hitter, Eric Kramer. Kramer, the beneficiary of his team's offense. Now he has an opportunity to add another one. 2 runs in the inning.
Mason Kuhn gave up 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and still had that eye of the tiger, that bulldog look from the left-hander. Not carrying the same persona right now.
One ball, 1 strike. Schluter very deep in left field. This has been a confident hitting team here in the championship game. Last season, St. Joe Ogden got to the state baseball finals for the first time in history. They made it to the championship game, only to see Reed Custer walk off on them. A lot of newcomers on this St. Joe Ogden team. Reaches this championship game once again.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to call that game, and what a great baseball game that was.
And you do feel a little bit of the air coming out of the Spartans here. The 8 hits, the 5 runs, but also on the other side, the dominance that pitcher Eric Kramer has shown for Teutopolis. He's at the plate right now. And he'll take strike 3. So that will end the inning, but not before T-Town strikes for 2 more. Leadoff walk started it. RBI single. Hartke, RBI double. Kenter will go to the bottom of the 4th, halfway home in this one. It's a 5-0 lead for the Wooden Shoes.
I knew before it even left my hand. Why? Because every shot I take is the most important one of my life.
Country Financial wants to know, do you feel in control of your financial future?
No.
Sort of.
But I have the desire to be in control of my money.
I need a plan.
At Country Financial, our goal is to work with you to lay out a step-by-step plan of insurance and financial solutions to help you regain control of your financial planning, to help you own your future.
Understanding is empowering.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today. Country Financial wants to know, what do you look for in a financial services partner?
Get to know us and get to know what we need and what we want to do.
Treat me like they would treat their family.
Help us decide what is a want and what is a need.
I want something tailor-made for me.
At Country Financial, our goal is to take the time to get to know you and then help you put together a customized package of insurance and financial solutions to help you own your future.
When someone really listens and they're planning for us, I trust them.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
This is the 8th game of the weekend, the 4th of the day. Earlier today in 1A action, 3rd place game, Goreville defeated Somonauk 10-3. Second straight trophy for each of those 2 teams. They played in the championship game last year, but your 1A champion, first time appearance, Peoria Heights, 6-2 winners over Valmeyer. And earlier this afternoon, 3rd place game in 2A, Chicago Christian up their mark to 40-2 with a 9-0 win over Orion. Orion and Chicago Christian, first-time members of the finals in the state baseball tournament. We're in the fourth, very quickly moving into the fourth, especially for SJO fans. Brent Hovland, the cleanup hitter, will start it.
See a good differentiation on the screen of shade and sunlight. Advantage right now to Kramer, 5-0 on the board. And the ball's coming from the sun right in to the shaded area. Now on Hovland, probably this will be the last inning that there's a differentiation.
Well, in fact, as you're saying that, I'm watching, I think right at his release point is that break line between shade and sun. Here comes the 2-strike pitch. Shortstop, Hartke, smooth, 1 out.
A little bit of a cutter or slider there. Got Hovland to get out and around it. And automatic when it goes to number 6, isn't it?
Well, he makes it look easy. He's made it look easy at the plate as well. Marty Wright bounced out to the pitcher his first time up.
Kramer on cruise control. 6-5. Pitches straight downhill.
This will be just out of play. Good chase given by Brant Beaker.
I love the emphasis he has. Young players can watch when he breaks his hands from glove to bare hand to release. You'll see him tuck his glove right toward his armpit. That keeps his whole front side in line to his catcher right there.
Spins Marty Wright out of the way.
So he's got a purpose to his delivery. Well-schooled young man with a great mound presence.
He pounds that zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch counts, of course, have been the topic of the tournament. First time we've had a state tournament with pitch counts, and it really has been no factor for Teutopolis, and they said as much coming into the ball game. This is Kenner, and he'll make the play, a long-distance play from behind the bag at second base. Teutopolis showing all 3 parts of the game, offense, defense, and pitching. But back to that pitch count, the idea that you ask the players, coaches, and they don't really flinch to say we just have so much pitching depth that we haven't really been concerned about, and we have not seen Lane Belleville. Belleville with a sub-2 ERA, leading the team in strikeouts. Yesterday was a 5-inning win for Brock Beaker. Eli Place, the DH. He flew out to the right fielder, Brant Beaker.
In, out, up, down. Using the entire 17 inches and then extending it more.
Slicing, giving chase is Blummer. He'll come up just a bit short.
6'5", tipping about 84, 85, a junior. Do you think there's some next-level people that are aware of the name Eric Kramer?
I guarantee you there are. He has that smooth delivery. Teutopolis fans wanted it. Jansen had been working, edging out to that outside corner, so they see him catch it near his left shoulder, but that was well outside the strike zone. Right to Hartke. Eli Place looks out at Hartke, looks at his bat, says, what more can I do? It's a 1-2-3 inning for Eric Kramer. He has only allowed 1 base runner since the first inning. His team is cruising through 4. It's 5-0 Teutopolis.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Hey, Hey, great party. Oh, thanks. Here you go. One hamburger, medium well. This is well done. No. That's medium well. What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned. That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger. I don't grill it.
You wouldn't do it there.
That'd be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com.
Belleville to get things started here for Teutopolis in the top of the 5th inning. Major story developed in the 3rd inning with Belleville. He made an out. And a line shot to 3rd. Boy, he had a rocket out of here last night. The ball got out in a hurry. Over the left field fence. Distance and speed. Kuhn ready to go. Here he delivers. And a bit high, 2-1.
Kuhn personifying the ultimate competitor right now, just trying to grind and keep his team around.
Kuhn, a senior. He and Hovland, the only two people that saw much playing time last year for SJO in this championship game. Belleville had to reach out. Nice, nifty little backhand from Kane. We're seeing some solid defense here in this title game. Brant Beaker, strikeout and a walk tonight.
Like Beaker tried to turn into that one.
Yeah, the strike was called by our home plate umpire Dave Hasley. Rob Hacker working in first, Mike Wise at 3rd. And that time he gets it.
Ah, there we go. He's keeping him here.
All right.
He actually, I'm going to take it a step farther. He maybe could have called it a strike. And that was set up by the pitch before where he tried to get hit. This time he did. He got his right leg, his front leg out. He's saying I turned.
Yeah, there was movement with that front leg. Dave Hasley doing a nice job letting Justin Fleener express his point.
I think he would have been granted first base had he not, the pitch before, tried to get hit.
Interesting.
Well, Dave Hasley noticed it because we did up here. And even though he's an umpire, he's a little bit smarter than us. Most umpires aren't.
For the record, Mark Lindo made that final comment.
I love umpires, and I mean that. They do their best. They love the game.
Kuhn blows that one past Beaker.
See if he climbs the ladder here, fastball up, see if he goes another 2 inches higher. If he does, he'll sit him down.
He went breaking ball. Hovland clears. 2 outs. Kuhn with 4 strikeouts tonight. I'll bring up Brock Beaker. Beaker singled and scored in the 2nd. Teutopolis, the rich baseball history. 1999 finished 2nd under head coach Rob Smith in Class A ball. That was the 2-class system. Came right back the following year and finished 3rd. And then Justin Fleener started the run. In 2005, a 3rd-place finish, back-to-back state titles in 10 and 11. And in 13 and 15, a 3rd-place trophy for Teutopolis. And they're just 3 innings away from picking up yet another baseball championship. Left side, it's going to be tough for Kane. Long throw across. Got him. Austin Kane, the The first out, the third out. A 1-2-3 inning for Kuhn. He's retired 5 in a row. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. The challenge now for SJO to solve Eric Kramer. He's retired 10 of the last 11. 5-0. Wooden Shoes.
Share this life like we ought to.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
Time is starting to get short here for the St. Joe Ogden Spartans. 3 innings to play, trailing 5-0. Eric Kramer in control. Jesse Schluter, Drew Corsi, and Tyler Slagley to get things started here in the fifth. 7, 8, 9 in the order for Josh Haley's team. Schluter struck out swinging, and then Drew Corsi, the man that follows him, struck out looking back in the second inning, and only 2 hits on the day.
First pitch strikes, a very common theme in Kramer's consistent delivery tonight.
To right field. Beaker has been money there, and he makes the catch. Made it look easy.
An impressive showing thus far, every facet of the game. A state championship showing thus far for Teutopolis.
You made the comment during the break that you thought St. Joe Ogden may be thinking about or may want to think about dropping a bunt down just to make something happen here.
Yeah, there's no doubt they're not, 11 of the last 12. Lee Hardick playing deep at third base and off the line. Be a great time for Drew Corsi to pinch ahead of the bat, drop one down the line, try to get something going that way.
Instead, he will challenge Hardick with the one hopper. 2 quick outs.
Too easy, too often right now.
6 straight retired, 12 of the last 13. Now Slagley will come to the plate.
Hit the button because Eric Kramer's on cruise control.
First pitch strike.
All 3 this inning.
And 0-2.
Well, I got some data that tells me if you throw 70% first pitch strikes, the average high school pitcher will throw 14.4 pitches per inning. Well, he's got 3 first pitch strikes. I bet you this is 9th pitch of the inning.
See whether it comes right at Slagley. Wouldn't bite.
Now, if you throw only like 55% first pitch strikes, you'll average about 17.5 pitches an inning. That's why that pitch count climbs.
After 0-2, it's now 2-2. Bottom of the 4th inning for the girls' softball state championships, St. Joe Ogden and Beecher. Scoreless. St. Joe Ogden, the visiting team in that one, home team here in baseball.
So one of the famous alumni of Beecher High School, Dave Bernhard.
I'm trying to squint my eyes, see if I can see through the bluff over there. Slagley stays alive.
Your picture's probably up there for being an academician as well, huh?
Well, it kind of is.
Okay.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Slagley swings through it. And the Kramer domination continues. 13 of the last 14 batters that have come to the plate for SJO have been retired. We will go to the 6th. 5-0 shutout here for T-Town.
I knew before it even left my hand. Why? Because every shot I take is the most important one of my life.
Country Financial wants to know, do you feel in control of your financial future?
No.
Sort of.
But I have the desire to be in control of my money.
I need a plan.
At Country Financial, our goal is to work with you to lay out a step-by-step plan of insurance and financial solutions to help you regain control of your financial planning, to help you own your future.
Understanding is empowering.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
We go to the 6th inning in a rapidly played state championship ball game. Teutopolis, a run in the first, 2 in the second, 2 more in the 4th. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Wooden Shoes. St. Joe, no runs, 2 hits, and an error. And starting it here in the 6th, Lee Hardick. He walked and scored in the 4th inning. The innings that Teutopolis has scored, their leadoff batter has reached base, and that particular batter has scored the runs, 3 of the 5 runs coming from that leadoff man getting on.
We were talking about Kramer's first pitch strikes. He only threw 9 pitches in the 5th inning, only 9. He threw all 3 first pitch strikes for the game. Eric Kramer for T-Town has thrown 74 pitches, 71% strikes. That's why he's been in command of this game.
Mason Kuhn, the ground ball to Corsi. Freshman's had a lot of action over there and handles it smoothly. I really like the way Drew Corsi handles that bag, and you're right. He shades up the middle. He's not afraid of his arm harming him. Been a busy man there. Speaking of pitch counts, Kuhn has retired the last 6.
Yeah, now he's thrown 76 pitches coming into this inning, 45 of those 4 strikes. And he's got 18 out of 25 first pitch strikes. So he's been
that's at
pretty good too. Yeah.
72%. You take away the 6 hits from the first 2 men in the order. That's Hartke and Kenter with 3 hits each. And he's been able to pretty much control the rest of this lineup. Dylan Blummer, a strikeout and a sacrifice bunt. Sacrifice bunt has been big here today. The sac bunt in the 2nd inning led to a couple of runs. Sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning. Kept the inning going. 2 more runs scored that inning. I didn't feel like the tone of this game was set on the very first pitch. Hartke, the double to the wall in left field. That was the first of his 2 doubles. Plummer working the count now to full. And the number 9 hitter will walk with 1 out here in the 6th. For Mason Kuhn, that is his first walk tonight. So does Carson Hartke keep this perfect night going? A double, a run scored in the first. A double, a run scored, an RBI in the second. A single with an RBI and a run scored in the 4th.
And made every play defensively at the shortstop position.
Curveball left up high.
Marty Wright, glove right in his eyes, trying to battle that sun, which is bearing right down him at first base.
And that will hit Hartke, so his perfect night of reaching base continues. A walk and a hit batter with one out here in the 6th. That brings up Jason Kenter. He's 3 for 3 tonight. Couple of singles, a double, and 2 runs batted in.
3 for 4 last night. 6 for 7, 2 games out of the 2-hole.
245 hitter coming in. Now Josh Haley on a jog to the mound. This will be more of a defensive / how are we going to pitch Jason Kenter conversation. You know, you mentioned the first baseman Marty Wright shielding his eyes. He's in this bright sun right over the edge of the shadow. The last thing he wanted was a throw to first. There was no way he was going to be able to see that. You know, when you do as a first baseman, you communicate that to your pitcher or your catcher if there's a pickoff situation. That way you say, before you go out there, you say, hey, let's back it down here.
Josh Haley doing a great job right there. Clapping his hands, patting a couple by guys on the backside, trying to keep his team positive.
Talked about the great athletic success that St. Joe Ogden has had here in recent years in all the sports. And you have a feeling you're going to see the Spartans back here in the state finals many times in years to come. First pitch to Kenter. Kuhn doesn't look quite as free and easy here. A walk, a hit batter, and then that one he buried.
They were a little bit in the 4th, gutted it out, cruised the 5th, and now a little bit of a labor again.
In the hole and through to left field. Blummer waved. Jason Kenter, 4 for 4 tonight. He picks up his 3rd run batted in. The lead gets pushed to 6-0.
Boy, when you come into a tournament hitting 245 and you exit the 6th inning with a 7 for 8 state semifinal and final, only what dreams are made of.
Josh Haley out of the dugout this time, the slow walk, and we will get that pitching change. Mason Kuhn is done. And Adam Rose, he had been warming up earlier. He will come in. Kuhn will go to center field. That's a long walk for Mason Kuhn. He'll be greeted by his outfield mates.
You sort through the defense. I will sort through what the 5'10", 150-pound sophomore Adam Rose has done for the Spartans thus far this year. He's appeared in 8 games on the bump with a fine 3-0 record. Been out there a few times, 21 2/3 innings, just 14 hits, 4 earned runs allowed. So the sophomore with a 1.29 earned run average disposed of 15 hitters via the strikeout and walked just 6. Adam Rose takes over here, his team trailing 6-0. His job is to try to keep it manageable.
Appears as if Mason Kuhn will go back to center field. That's his regular spot defensively when he's not pitching. Tyler Slagley will move to right field. Tyler Langendorf, the right fielder, will come in. He was being hit for by Eli Place, so the lineup substitution technically is Adam Rose for Langendorf.
We still have 2 innings to play for all practical purposes, but I would say this, with a score 6-0, the Spartans of SJO have not played poorly. Nope. They've played a solid baseball game. They have just an opponent tonight that has played at the highest level.
Hit it any softer, and he gets the RBI and a hit.
Now, people that were just joining us and not knowing exactly what I'm talking about, Cody Jansen has squared the ball up twice last night, just laser beams to the outfield. His first 3 times today, square up, square up, square up, was 0 for 5, including a double play. That time he barely hits the ball out of the infield. You get a base hit and an RBI. What is this game?
Yes. Jackson Geckner will run out to second base, and he will be the courtesy runner for Jansen.
Big smile on his face right there. We're getting a good look at him getting the high fives in the dugout, but he knows exactly what we're talking about up here because they're going to rib him about that down there.
Eric Kramer, 2 more runners in scoring position. Right side of the infield is in tight. Shortstop Kane giving a little bit of distance there at shortstop behind the grass. 10 hits tonight for the Wooden Shoes. Long run by the left fielder Schluter near the line. That's a fair ball. Here's the throw home. Run scores, throw to third. And they'll get the runner there. So it will be Kenter that scores. Geckner is thrown out at third. But give the RBI to Eric Kramer.
And what a hose exhibited by Hovland there to throw the runner out at third base. Just an outstanding catcher in his own right. Hovland, a senior. How about he goes, puts his arm around a sophomore pitcher. Encourages him, great leadership skills.
T-Town has been hitting ball all over the field, so Schluter, the left fielder, playing deep as he should. And that ball found the spot down the left field line. So back-to-back hits that have found the right part of the field for T-Town, and that lead's boosted to 8-0 here for Lane Belleville. Off the end of the bat for Belleville, Slagley underneath it in right field. And that will finish the inning. A 3 spot on the board for Teutopolis. They keep on rolling. Bottom of the 6th. An 8-0 lead for Teutopolis as they bid for their 3rd state championship in school history.
I knew before it even left my hand. Why? Because every shot I take is the most important one of my life.
Country Financial wants to know, do you feel in control of your financial future?
No.
Sort of.
But I have the desire to be in control of my money.
I need a plan.
At Country Financial, our goal is to work with you to lay out a step-by-step plan of insurance and financial solutions to help you regain control of your financial planning, to help you own your future.
Understanding is empowering.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today. Country Financial wants to know, what do you look for in a financial services partner?
Get to know us and get to know what we need and what we want to do.
Treat me like they would treat their family.
Help us decide what is a want and what is a need.
I want something tailor-made for me.
At Country Financial, our goal is to take the time to get to know you and then help you put together a customized package of insurance and financial solutions to help you own your future.
When someone really listens and they're planning for us, I trust them.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
In the semifinal and here in the championship game, Teutopolis has outscored their 2 opponents, Orion and St. Joe-Ogden, by a combined 19-0. Mason Kuhn will start the top of the 6th for the Spartans. Eric Kramer retiring 13 of the last 14 batters he's faced, including the last 7. The only person to touch him in the stretch since the first inning was Austin Kane, the man on deck. He had a single with 2 out in the 3rd inning. Right side. And unable to handle it is Jason Kenter. The error will start the inning for the Spartans.
See Kramer turn around and tell Kentner, don't worry about it, I got you. You know, pitchers can put their head down and get mad about a defensive player. They can go ahead and pick their infielder up.
A little adjustment by Mason Kuhn over at first base. Kane tonight walked to go along with that single.
What a beautiful night it is in downtown Peoria. A beautiful weekend we've had.
First pitch to Kane is a strike. This may be the absolute nicest total 2 days of baseball that we have had at any facility we've been.
Absolutely.
Just a comfortable temperature. I mean, out last night, just a calm night. The wind has been calm for the most part the entire weekend.
And that's at least 5 consecutive hitters that have received strike one on the first pitch.
T-Town fans thought that was strike 3 on Kane. That didn't miss by much.
Cody Jansen wanted that one.
Yeah.
He held that one in front of Dave Hasley for an awful long time. It's another borderline one. He'll get it.
Kane stays alive for another pitch. Dylan Blummer, Brock Beeker, Brant Beeker, all in the sunlight. Infield covered in shade. And Kane waves through that pitch. Big time pitch there from Eric Kramer.
Might be his best off-speed pitch. He's used the slider quite a bit tonight. That one he took even more off, had more downward bite, more 12-6 rotation, and getting way out on the front side was Austin Kane. Couldn't keep his hands still, or his head still and his hands back on that great pitch.
Colton Hale 0 for 2 tonight. Only 2 hits tonight generated by the Spartans. Another good breaking ball.
So he's found that one.
First inning, St. Joe-Ogden had 2 runners on base, and that's it. 1 runner in the 3rd, and then another one here in the 6th. Only 4 batters have reached base tonight against Eric Kramer.
It's been a masterpiece thus far.
Ball and 2 strikes to Hale.
Well, he's been honestly like a Baryshnikov. Slow, quick. I mean, like a dance step. The way he's mixed the speeds and location of his pitches.
You do a lot of ballet, do you?
Not for a while. I think I'd hurt my toes. Very weight-bearing.
Jansen wanted it up high, and Kramer helped him out upstairs and in tight.
Well, Hale stepped out on the previous pitch, which is a smart thing on his part, trying to break Kramer's rhythm. Cody Jansen didn't like that. He wanted his pitcher to be able to get it and throw it.
Second strikeout in succession, the 5th of the game for Kramer. He has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters that have come to the plate. The only other one was Kuhn, who reached on an error.
And how dominant he's been. 2 of the better hitters in the lineup right there just could not stay back on his off-speed pitch.
Brant Hovland now. Hovland, one of the 2 hits that came in the first inning.
If you're Josh Haley right now, if this score would be of the final score variety, he would have nothing to dissect or to look upon with his own punching of buttons, because there hasn't been anything to punch.
Hovland, though, puts a charge into this one, drives Blummer back deep and gone. 2-run home run from Brant Hovland.
Hovland, an excellent hitter, an excellent receiver. He got a ball center cut, locked out his lead leg, pulled his hands through the zone, and flat out scalded that ball high up onto the berm by the picnic area in left center field.
Now Justin Fleener will come to the mound. It's an 8-2 game. Boy, that didn't take long to leave Dozer Park. This in all likelihood just let's talk about this, fellas. Let's just take a breath. We're in control. And if you're into the counting outs game, Teutopolis only needs 4 more outs made by St. Joe Ogden with a 6-run lead. I'll bring Marty Wright to the plate. Wright, a couple of ground outs today. Cody Jansen flips his glove to Fleener, his catcher's mitt, and gets a replacement mitt.
He didn't like the other mitt. It gave up a home run.
I was going to say that. I'm thinking, could there be some superstition there?
A pinch mitt.
we talked to different people. Do you have superstitions? And actually today ran into in the breakfast area the Goreville girls softball team who had been competing for a state title, and just having to ask a question. Do you have any superstitions? And one of the players said, "Yeah, I never wear a belt."
Yeah.
And you look, she wasn't wearing a belt.
Well, that's because I had the opportunity to be next to them yesterday. They sat the exact same spot, had the exact same breakfast.
Marty Wright keeps it moving. He has a single. And that brings the St. Joe Ogden crowd alive.
And Justin Fleener has his own superstition. He always has to be year after year, picture after picture. He has to stand in the same spot. That's his baseball superstition with his team.
Well, if the folks from St. Joe Ogden are keeping an eye or staying in contact with the people over at East Side Center in East Peoria, bottom of the 6th inning, St. Joe Ogden leading Beecher 1-0. Beecher the home team in that one. Eli Place. Fly out and a line out. Place the big cut, the designated hitter, hitting into the 6th spot in the order.
Pulled off that one. See if Kramer goes away again. That's where Jansen wants it.
Two and two. And that will move right to second base. He'll stop right there. So Kramer maybe starting to lose it just a bit here.
I was watching Josh Haley's, that ball went to the screen. The instinct of a third base coach, he was looking ball. They thought, not a chance. We need more than that.
Place would like to drop this one somewhere in the grass and narrow this margin just a bit. Three and two. In front of home plate, this will play for Jansen. And he'll make it an easy one. In the inning, Brant Hovland, the 2-run home run, puts St. Joe Ogden on the board. They still trail by 6 as we head to the 7th in the 2A championship game.
I knew before it even left my hand. Why? Because every shot I take is the most important one of my life.
Country Financial wants to know, do you feel in control of your financial future?
No.
Sort of.
But I have the desire to be in control of my money.
I need a plan.
At Country Financial, our goal is to work with you to lay out a step-by-step plan of insurance and financial solutions to help you regain control of your financial planning, to help you own your future.
Understanding is empowering.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today. Country Financial wants to know, what do you look for in a financial services partner?
Get to know us and get to know what we need and what we want to do.
Treat me like they would treat their family.
Help us decide what is a want and what is a need.
I want something tailor-made for me.
At Country Financial, our goal is to take the time to get to know you and then help you put together a customized package of insurance and financial solutions to help you own your future.
When someone really listens and they're planning for us, I trust them.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
Lead has been narrowed slightly down to 6, an 8-2 lead. Home run by Brant Hovland got the crowd into it a little bit. We'll start the top of the 7th with Brent Beeker. Be followed by Brock Beeker and then Hardick. First pitch called a strike to Beeker. Right through the box and past Adam Rose into center field. Once again, leadoff batter reaches base for the Wooden Shoes. 12th hit of the game.
In full respect to Adam Rose, Brant Beeker and his brother Brock both very happy to see the right-handed sophomore rather than left-handed offerings of Mason Kuhn that they had to face tonight.
This is Brock at the plate. And he'll have a base hit right underneath the feet of his twin brother. Back-to-back hits by the Beakers.
Isn't it amazing just how better a look they get? Right-hander coming to them instead of trying to stay in against a left-handed pitcher. Just unbelievable part of baseball.
Lee Hardick, sacrifice bunt, a walk and a ground out. Throwing a run scored, officially 0 for 1. Number 8 hitter. 6-run lead. This still could be a bunt situation here for T-Town.
Yeah, that's in respect to SJO.
Exactly. And a good one down that third base line. Hale, his throw, not in time. The ball gets free. Here comes Brant Beeker. And the lead goes to 9-2. Base hit bunt for Lee Hardick, and then a throwing error on Hale, advancing the runner to third.
3 consecutive hits, a little bit of small ball involved in the third one. Good execution. Second time Hardick's got a bunt down, throwing a base on balls. A productive night from the 8-hole hitter, the third baseman for T-Town.
Nobody out, a run in, and runners on the corners. A 9-2 advantage. Already one of those 2 runs that St. Joe Ogden got in the bottom of the 6th have been reclaimed. We'll get a pinch hitter here. It will be Drew Taylor. He'll be batting for Dylan Blummer.
And then the irony of baseball. You mentioned the run coming back. It comes back on a bunt of about 20 feet to negate the 390-foot home run on the other side.
Taylor gets a good rip at it. Corsi to Kane. Double play and nearly the triple play. The run will score as Brock Beeker scoots in. Again, a slick turn in the middle. That's the second double play. This one goes 463, and for the second time today, a run scores on a double play. And that lead has gone back to 8.
Well, their middle infielder is one of our game keys, and they've done their job. Catcher's done his job. Their defense has been pretty stellar up the middle.
Carson Hartke, 3 for 3, a hit by pitch. He has scored all 4 times. He has come to the plate today. Right center field, this one in the sun, but the catch is made. Nicely done by Tyler Slagley. So the 2 runs that SJO got in the 6th come right back onto the board for Teutopolis. The lead is at 8. 8-run lead, 3 outs to go for T-Town to their 3rd state title.
Boo! Hey, where are you going? Can't get by me. I'm number 1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm number 1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am a king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
This game is brought to you by Under Armour, maker of the world's best apparel, footwear, and accessories. Check out the full line of performance gear now at UA.com. Under Armour, I will.
Eric Kramer has pitched a masterpiece. A 4-hitter. He's given up just a 2-run homer to Brad Hovland. He has 3 outs to go. The 7, 8, 9 hitters in the order, but he may not be able to finish this one. Mark, please explain.
Thrown 98 pitches on the evening, 24 in the 6th inning, so that elevated his pitch count. Of those 98 pitches, he's thrown 70 strikes, only 28 balls tonight. And first pitch strike, he's now 16 out of 25, which is about 68%.
Jesse Schluter swings through the first one. Schluter 0 for 2 tonight. The magic number 105. Now the number we gave you at 98, now it's 100 pitches, is unofficial. The official number is down between the two dugouts. That's where the coaches compare, check. And once he gets 105, he can complete that batter, and then only be a relief pitcher. Lane Belleville went down to the bullpen to warm up during that last inning.
Yes, fans do need to indeed understand that. You start a batter, you can finish that batter. So what he wanted to do was get this one before 103. This would be the 4th pitch of this sequence.
Jansen exchanging gloves. He had thrown that first one in the dugout, and somebody needed to do a repair work. Evidently it's complete. Always good to have a teammate who's good with leather. To the shortstop, Hartke. You can book it. One gone.
Ball goes his direction. You already got the pen in hand writing 6. You got to finish with a 3, but you're already writing it down. It goes in his direction.
Drew Corsi, freshman second baseman. An official number we have up here now is 103 pitches. Well, that would be a shame if he could not finish this ball game. Certainly deserves it.
And he won't be able to if
that number
correct.
is accurate downstairs. Yep. Corsi will get that line drive to fall. That's the 5th hit of the night for SJO. Tyler Slagley will come to the plate. And he will be replaced, though. We'll get a pinch hitter. It'll be Tegan Poole. Poole, a senior. Get a chance to swing it here in the state championship game. And Justin Fleener comes out of the dugout. That may be it for Kramer. And the way Belleville is walking to the mound from first base, he may be asking for a different glove. In all likelihood would be a swap between pitcher and first baseman. And Kramer will stay. So evidently that number is still okay.
Interesting, as agreed upon down on the field.
You know, when you think about how crucial that is, I mean, absolutely vital. If there's a mistake made or a dispute and, you know, there is no agreement or the numbers are different, I mean, there have been a couple of games in the state playoffs where teams have had to forfeit after the fact for having their pitcher throw too many pitches. Poole will take the first pitch down low. Kramer tonight has allowed 5 hits. He has struck out 5. Let's walk one batter. Chance for 2. There's 1. The relay. T-Town, your state champions. Teutopolis claims their third state championship in school history. The dog pile on the infield of Dozer Park. A dominating performance in all three aspects of the game, pitching, defense, and offense. The final, 10-2, T-Town back to wrap it up after this.
Today's game is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Guaranteed best prices. This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com. This game is brought to you by Under Armour, maker of the world's best apparel, footwear, and accessories. Check out the full line of performance gear now at UA.com. Under Armour, I will.
The fireworks behind the scoreboard here at Dozer Park going off, honoring the state championship of Teutopolis in dominating fashion, a 10-2 win over St. Joe-Ogden. The Spartans finishing second for the second consecutive year. 10 runs, 14 hits, and just one error for T-Town. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors for St. Joe-Ogden, the winning pitcher. He went the distance. Eric Kramer, your player of the game, though, Mark, is a man who's done it with the bat.
Well, I'll tell you what, how can Kramer not get it? I'll tell you how, because Jason Kentner, the second baseman, went 4 out of 4 tonight, 7 out of 8 in the semifinal and final. And got to be honest with you, deserving man, but there was probably 4 or 5 people from Teutopolis that could have had that honor tonight. A superb display of baseball, every facet for the state champions of 2A.
State champs in 2A in 2010 and 2011, and for the third time in 8 years, Teutopolis will claim that championship trophy. They do it here in 2017. The final score, 10-8. We thank everyone who's joined us this weekend from Peoria. We hope you join us from Joliet next week. We bring you 3A and 4A action. Final score once again here, your 2A champions. Teutopolis, they'll join Peoria Heights as winners here in Peoria. For Matt Rumler and for my partner Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhardt. Thanks for joining us from Peoria. We'll talk to you from Joliet in 1 week.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
I knew before it even left my hand. Why? Because every shot I take is the most important one of my life.
Today's game is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Guaranteed best prices. This event is brought to you by Olive Garden. Olive Garden is proud to be the official dining room of high school sports. With menu choices to please the entire family, as well as to-go and catering options, it's the perfect restaurant for your post-game dining. To find your nearest location or to order your meal online, visit olivegarden.com.
Trimmer. Number 30, Adam Rose. Number 33, Jesse Schluter. And number 34, Cole Bensel. Answer your safety vest and please stay off the tops of the dugouts. Thank you. Now at this time, please meet the wooden shoes of Teutopolis. First place, final record of 31-6. Superintendent Bill Richard. Principal Greg Beck. Athletic Director Mike Wilson. Head Coach Justin Diener. Assistant Coach Rob Bockwell. Assistant Coach Tom Kazan. Statistician Bo Liebernick. Now player number 1, Colin Punahou. Number 2, Jackson Geckner. Number 3, Brant Peter. Number 4, Connor Meddy. Number 5, Blake Tick. Number 6, Carson Harkey. Number 7, Brock Peter. Number 8, Jason Kenter. Number 9, Evan Altoff. Number 11, Lane Belleville. Number 12, Colin Craig. Number 13, Drew Taylor. Number 15, Caleb Kent. Number 16, Lee Garden. Number 18, Jared Plummer. Number 19, Dylan Plummer. Number 20, Josh Tomlinson. Number 21, Eric Kramer. Number 23, Cody Jansen. Number 27, Ethan Gus. Now with Coach Haley, the captain, St. Joseph-Ogden, please step forward to receive the second place trophy. Now with Coach Diener, the captains of Teutopolis, please step forward to receive the first place trophy.